What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is the NS9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Jim. With me today is Tyler. Tyler, that was a frustrating 3-0 loss to the San Diego Padres. But how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm thankful that this game was at 4 o'clock rather than 9:40, because if I would have stayed up until 1 in the morning watching that, this might be a different show. I might be throwing stuff.
Yeah, I was actually getting a little excited because it was moving really quick. I was like, this
Yeah.
game's going to be over relatively quickly. And then once the teams got into the bullpens, the game just got really, really slow. I mean, it ended up being, almost a 3-hour long game, but I was thinking this thing was going to take 2 hours with the way these two starting pitchers were going at it. But it didn't end up being like that. The Pirates had plenty of chances, but they're shut out. They lose 3-0. They dropped to 65 and 70 on the year. Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about leading into this where like you had to win the Dodgers series and then you had to sweep the Padres. You got swept by the Dodgers. You take 2 out of 3 to the Padres. So they just kind of they fell short of what they needed to do these first 2 series on the road.
Yeah, it's just Jim, it's not a very good baseball team. Plain and simple, their record is what they are. They're an average to below average baseball team, at least as currently constructed and what they have. And I think they show that, which is why it's so kind of frustrating, because they're just like, you see the talent, but it's just there's enough issues and warts with this team that they're just not good enough.
Well, today the wart was hitting with runners in scoring position. And that's been a wart pretty much all road trip, all season, really, I guess, if you want to even go a little bit farther. But I mean, just today, they're 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. I want to say they've only had 2 hits with runners in scoring position this entire series. And the one hit they got today, Tyler, was an infield single with a runner on second. So it didn't even score a run. Like it was, and it was just so frustrating because it was just inning after inning after inning. It wasn't like they just had one chance or 2 chances. It was just, it was on repeat the whole game. And it started in the 4th. So the Padres had a 1-0 lead going into the 4th inning. Spencer Horwitz, leadoff single. Brandon Lau, one no out walk. First and second, nobody out. And then there's a balk, right? That's the second balk of this series, I believe. So now you got second and third, nobody out. 1-run game in the 4th. And the meat of your order is coming up. You got 3, 4, 5 due up with it's exactly what you want to happen. Bryan Reynolds pops up. Esmerlyn Valdez strikes out. Oneil Cruz gets walked because, hey, why pitch to him? And then Nick Gonzales strikes out looking.
That inning is a microcosm of this entire team and all the issues with it. So it was Lau who walked right before that. 4-pitch walk. Bryan Reynolds comes up, takes 2 balls, mound visit, 6 straight balls at that point. I'm not saying you have to take a pitch there, but there's 6 straight balls. I probably want you to take a pitch. With the mound visit, okay. If you want to be gung-ho, sit fastball and try to drive something, I'm okay with it. The pitch that Bryan Reynolds swung at is a sinker on the edge of the plate that you can do absolutely nothing with. Now, he just fouled it off. Didn't do any hurt, but you're letting the pitcher settle in there. Next pitch is a hanging breaking ball that he should have annihilated, and he pops up to the shortstop.
It was right down the middle. It was a changeup right down the middle.
Yep. Yeah, it is dead red in the middle. He should have done damage with it. Didn't. Approach-wise, like, I'm not going to scream and yell about that one. Like, he got a pitch to hit. He just didn't do anything with it. But Vasquez is struggling so badly at that point. And Valdez comes up. And he puts together, and I love the guy. One of the worst at-bats I think I've seen in that situation. He is just hacking at pitches off the plate. There is zero reason for him to swing at the pitches he swung at in that at-bat. It's a bad approach. I don't know how you're not in his ear. How make him take a pitch at that point? I don't care. And he's generally pretty good with discipline, but it looks like he's trying to hit an 8-run home run. When they talk about the fundamentals and things that are wrong with this team, and you can complain about every team, they all have. Like, if you watch 162 games, they're all going to do things stupid. This day was full of stupid. Just bad baseball, bad approaches, bad at-bats. Awful.
Yeah, and it was just repeated over and over and over again. I mean, the broadcast was pretty sick of it, and because it's been this way for a while now. And then this series, this road trip in particular, they just haven't gotten the job done when they needed to, and yeah, it's frustrating. Like, people were getting on base. Like they stranded 10 batters today. They had 13 at bats. They had 13 chances today with runners in scoring position, and they didn't score a run. So that was the first chance there. Shout out. Thank you, Michael B. He says, every season Reynolds stinks for 4 of 6 months. This team now has a 1% chance to make the playoffs. Year 7, they'll finish in last again. They effing suck. Thank you again, Michael B. Yeah, I mean, Bryan Reynolds, since the All-Star break, Tyler, an OPS of 593.
The big moment came, and he has not come through. I mean,
we talked on Monday about how, like, it's not necessarily the injuries that derailed this team. One of the reasons that this team got derailed is that players like Bryan Reynolds just stopped hitting.
Yeah,
they just stopped when you needed them.
Yeah.
So that was the Pirates' first opportunity, though, was right there in the 4th.
I don't know how we're going to get through all of them.
I know. We're going to, though. They get another one in the 6th. Same guys, right? Spencer Horwitz, leadoff single. Brandon Lau, walk. It's the exact same situation as 2 innings before. This one, I'm not going to blame Bryan Reynolds for. He hits a laser, 105 miles an hour off the bat. Jake Cronenworth, who's had an insane series defensively, he's not a good second baseman. Like, I think he was like somewhere around -2 defensive runs saved, -5 outs above average. I need to look it up, but it's not good. He's a subpar defensive second baseman. He makes an insane diving catch on this Bryan Reynolds line drive. 1 out.
That's just baseball.
Valdez up. Ground ball, shortstop. It's slow, bad feed, fielder's choice. 2 outs. Oneil Cruz flies out. Inning over. Now you're 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
I feel like I'm going to pick on him, but you need more from Valdez there. Like, you need a better at bat there. You can't hit a ground ball. That's going to be a double play. That should have been a double play. And you kind of got to hunt fastball there. Like, you can't swing at a sweeper that's at your knees. Just trying to do too much, I guess. I don't know. Someone get the job done, please.
7th inning. Nick Gonzales leadoff walk. Jake Mangum hit by the pitch. First and second again with nobody out. Surely they'll score here, Tyler. Rafael Flores strikes out swinging. Jared Triolo pinch hits for Jacob Gonzales with the lefty coming in. And Triolo gets the Pirates' only hit of the day with runners in scoring position. It's a weakly hit ground ball in the 5-6 hole, and it's an infield single. So no outs, but nobody scores. Bases are now loaded. 1 out. Lefty Matsui on the mound. And you've got left-handed hitter Spencer Horwitz up, followed by left-handed hitter Brandon Lau up. Don Kelly does not go to the bench in either situation. Strikeout, strands the bases loaded. Now you're 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position.
It's just bad. I don't know what more to say here because
Let
Horwitz
me
is
ask
swinging.
you, let me ask you this, because there were a lot of people. Like, I was in the Discord. We were in the game chat during the game, and on the NS9 app as well. But they go to Triolo. He goes to Triolo with the left-handed pitcher to pinch hit for Gonzales. He lets Horwitz and Lau both hit off of the lefty. What are your thoughts on that? Would you have gone to either? I mean, at this point, you've got York and you've got Davis. Those are your right-handed options off of the bench. Would you have made a move there, or are you sticking with your guys?
I would have stuck with the two. I would have stuck with Horwitz, stuck with Lau. I'm not pinch hitting Henry Davis ever in my life. And if I'm pinch hitting Nick York ever in my life, we're in trouble. I don't care what Spencer Horwitz's numbers are. I'm going to ride with him. And also, if you can somehow get back in this thing, I don't want Nick York or Henry Davis having to take late game at bats.
Yeah, if you recall, there was a moment early in the year where kind of a similar situation. Brandon Lau was up, big spot, lefty reliever came in, and they did go to York, and I don't think it worked.
Nope.
A lot of people got mad at Don Kelly for saying, "Hey, what are you pinch hitting for Brandon Lau for? Like, he's the guy you acquired to come up big in these situations. I don't care if it's a lefty matchup or not." I'm with you there. This is why you have these guys on your team.
Right.
This is why Brandon Lau's on your team is to come up big, even against the left-handed pitcher in the 7th inning of a 2-run game with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, bases loaded in this instance. Like, he's gotta do something. He's got. I mean, one of those two guys needs to put the ball in play, and both of them failed. I mean, at some point, I think you gotta blame the players here. Like, Spencer Horwitz failed, Brandon Lau failed. How comfortable would you have really been going to Nick York or Henry Davis in that situation? And like you said, once they're in, they're probably going to get another big at bat later in the game.
I think a more valid argument there is if you want to argue that, like, why is Spencer Horwitz and Brandon Lau hitting back to back when you're going to run into this situation? I think you can make that argument more than the pinch hit argument.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like, because I feel like historically throughout this season, one thing that Kelly has done is like breaking up the lefties and the righties.
Mm-hmm.
They go lefty righty, and in tonight's instance, he went that lefty, and really it was lefty if you count Gonzales there at the bottom of the order as well. So,
and even
good point.
Lefty with Reynolds.
Yeah, because good point.
I mean, you're going to turn him around.
Yep. So that was the 7th inning. Pirates are now 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position at this point. Tyler, on to the 8th inning. Bryan Reynolds, leadoff single. Esmerlyn Valdez, another single. You now have runners on first and second. Once again, 2-run game. Nobody out. Your 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up. Oneil Cruz strikeout. Nick Gonzales strikeout. Jake Mangum ground out into fielder's choice. 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position, 10 left on base. And again, it was 4 out of 5 innings. It was the 4th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. They had plenty of chances to win this game and just did nothing.
No, and you definitely want to see something out of Oneil Cruz there. Like, you want a better at bat out of him for sure. The one that just irks me is that Nick Gonzales at bat. Just such a pathetic performance from him today. It was just plain and simple, god awful. Fielding, terrible. At the plate, terrible.
Had the error. Had the error in the field.
Not a good day for him. Did not play winning baseball.
No, he didn't. The Padres did add a run in the bottom half of the 8th. Pirates didn't really do much there in the top half of the 9th, but yeah, I mean that was this game. I mean, it was just they didn't come through when they needed to. You would have loved a sweep here, Tyler. You mentioned it on NS9 Live last week. It was like, get to 500 by the end of the month. They made that a really, really hard thing to do when they got swept against the Dodgers. That means you had to sweep the Padres and you had to sweep the Cardinals. If you were able to accomplish that, that gets you back to 500 at the end of the month. Now it's impossible. They literally can't do it. It's not mathematically possible for this team to get back to 500 by September. And like I said, you're to the point of the season where all these games count. And this was a winnable game. Just like 2 out of those 3 Dodgers games were winnable games. And they let it slip through their fingers.
Yep, just too many missed chances in this last couple weeks. Yeah,
yep.
Well, the whole season.
How about Bubba Chandler?
Pitched well. You know what? I mean, what I'll say is that I was impressed with what he did with what he had, because I don't know if you agree, I don't think Bubba had nearly what Bubba's used to having.
I agree.
And also that's another story for another time, because I question why so many of these guys don't have it just randomly and their velo drops 2 miles an hour just randomly. That's a question for another day, I guess. But with what he had, I thought he put together a really good start.
I feel like this was a start where, because I agree with you. Like, he just didn't have his stuff today. Fastball was 2 miles an hour under his season average. His sinker was, over a tick down. His changeup was 3 ticks down. He wasn't missing a ton of bats. He had 6 swings and misses today, a 15% whiff rate. He wasn't necessarily hit hard today. Average exit velocity was 88. So it was like average contact against him. But he did a good job of throwing strikes. He walked 2 batters. He gave up 4 hits. He gave up 2 extra base hits, both to Jackson Merrill. But yeah, I thought he did a good job working with kind of what he had today. I'm not alarmed that the stuff was down. Maybe it was just one of those days for him. But it is something to kind of monitor. He is at the point in the season where he's approaching, that area where it's like, okay, he hasn't really thrown this many pitches this deep into a season before. I mean, last year he was at 130 innings. This year he's at 131 innings. So like he's right where he was last year, and we still have over a month to go. So it's something to monitor. But no, I'm with you. I mean, overall his stat line tonight was 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He just kind of grinded through the outing, and the stuff was good enough that he was able to put together a quality outing. It wasn't technically a quality start. He fell 1 out short, but a quality outing, and he gave the team a chance to win.
Absolutely. He kept them in the game, and to be honest, I thought it was going to be an ugly game just based on his first inning. Like, he got hit relatively hard early. I think Tatis hit the first at bat of the game, hit one over 100 miles an hour. Then he walks Cronenworth. At that point, you might be thinking you're going to run into one of them Bubba starts, but I think what you said is absolutely correct. He kind of grinded this thing out. I think he, quote unquote, pitched well, even if he didn't have his best stuff. But yeah, the fastball just didn't have the life that you're used to seeing from Bubba. It didn't jump out the hand, obviously, when you're 2 miles an hour down. He still kind of ramped up the slider a little bit. Like, I think we saw it around 94. So I guess if we're talking about like fatigue and things like that, he still flashed that he had it, which I guess is encouraging. Just more that it might be I don't know, body didn't feel great, maybe mechanics. I don't know what it was, but just didn't have his A game.
No, he didn't. And the fastball did run up there. He got it up to 99.4, at one point. But yeah, not the electric fastball you're used to seeing from him. It didn't generate a lot of swings and misses today. So there was something off with him. But yeah, I thought he did a good job. Like, this is our first time seeing Bubba Chandler pitch a full season in the major leagues. his numbers are now pretty damn respectable. I mean, he's got a 4.26 earned run average in 130 innings. Like he's had a pretty, I mean, he's pitched like a number 3 starter for the most part, so he's shown a lot of growth throughout the year. Again, not like his best outing, but an overall, like you'll take this from Bubba.
If you get some more innings out of him, this is like every year of Mitch Keller ever.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I mean,
it's just, again, you go back to pitcher, you see the stuff.
That's a pitcher teams are willing to pay $15 to $20 million a year for. So.
Yeah. And with Bubba, there's a lot more room for improvement as well, which is the encouraging thing, because you see how good he can be.
Yeah, I agree. Pirates bullpen continued to look pretty solid. Lake Bacher with an inning and a third, scoreless, cleaning up from Bubba in the 6th there, and then pitching the 7th. Kirby Yates labored quite a bit in the 7th. Actually, that was the 8th inning. Let me ask you this, because this has been an issue that I've had. If there's one issue that I have with Don Kelly right now and Bill Murphy, let's throw both of them in here. It's that it seems like they are extremely slow to react to a pitcher who just doesn't seem to have it. Like Kirby Yates threw 35 pitches today. Now, 11 of those were in that final at bat, but Kirby Yates had, even before that at bat, he had given up 3 hits and a walk. Like, I know it's a 3-0 game. You don't want to chase a win every single game, but you've got an off day tomorrow. Like this is a game that you should be chasing, right? Like once you find out, okay, Kirby Yates doesn't look great. His fastball is like 89, 90 miles an hour tonight, and he's throwing it all over the place.
Yeah.
Let's try something else. And they just didn't do it. So Yates gives up a run. They go to Murdoch. He pitches 5 pitches, 5 strikes, gets the last out of the inning. But Bill Murphy, I feel like, has taken 1 mound visit in the last month. I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's been banished to the underworld or something. Because like I don't know. Like he doesn't have mound visits anymore. He had 1 yesterday. And that was the first time I've seen Bill Murphy walk out to the mound in, I swear, at least a week or 2. But I don't know. Kirby Yates is what, 40 years old, 35 pitches. Like at some point, just give the dude a break. Like the mound visit, you don't even have to talk to him. Just be like, hey, just take a breather, old man. And then they don't even do that. They just kind of leave him out to dry. And this is one of multiple occasions we've seen Don Kelly, I feel like, just leave relief pitchers in too long. So 35 pitches today from Kirby Yates before they make the change. I mean, it didn't matter at this point. The offense wasn't going to do anything, but I would have liked to have been a little more aggressive there with the bullpen.
Yeah. Off day tomorrow. I think you definitely want to not chase the win, like you said, but at least try to put your best foot forward. And it was pretty apparent immediately that Kirby Yates did not have it today. Like you said, he's old. Sometimes he doesn't have it. And something happened with Bill Murphy where mound visits are just kind of non-existent now.
They are. And
it's bad whenever I'm like begging for his slow walk to the mound, which I absolutely hate. But at this point, you're begging for, are you guys sleeping in the dugout? What are we doing here? Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to question about this coaching staff, and I think that one's definitely going to be up there. I mean, the way they've handled pitching in general this year is quite questionable, I'd say.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, the pitching staff, again, today the pitching wasn't the issue. They only gave up 3 runs, but they definitely took a step backwards this year, just about everybody. And yeah, I mean, at some point you've got to, at some point you've got to blame somebody, right?
Right.
And
I know it's it's a conversation for another day, but I even looking at Bubba. He's 23 years old and his fastball's down 2 miles an hour. Like, it's not the first occasion we've seen these pitchers come out with velocity issues this year. it's been kind of a reoccurring theme.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing? Where is the problem? Like, is recovery a problem? Is the way we're training a problem? Is the pitch mix a problem? What is the issue? Because there is an issue here. This has happened way too often. Like, I know Kirby Yates is old, but his velocity's down. There's a lot of instances.
And it's just weird, inconsistent philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Who was it right here? Heather. Starters get yanked really early, and bullpen arms are just kind of left in there way too long, it seems. Like, can we have a relief pitcher just throw like one inning every now and then? Is that possible? Is that legal? Like, no, does every relief pitcher have to throw 3 innings? Like, why do we need to do this all the time? It's frustrating. Also want to give a shout out to Silas TV. Thanks for the $5 super chat. He says we should be 5-1 on this road trip. Instead, we're 2-4. I agree with you 100%. Like, those are 3 winnable games that they've dropped. This team just does not know how to win winnable games. More people left on base today than I can count. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have all 10 fingers on your hands, Tyler, you would not have been able to count all the left on base today.
Yeah,
if there was a fireworks accident at some point in your past, you'd have to start going.
If I was Jason Pierre-Paul, I would not be able to count it.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that doesn't know how to win.
On FanDuel, you actually can no longer even bet the Pirates to not make the playoffs. The odds are so low that they won't even let you do it. The Pirates are now plus 7,000 to make the playoffs, Tyler. Plus 7,000.
Yeah, I would say that means it's over.
Yeah. So you place a $1 bet though, and a miracle happens, you get $700.
That would take quite the miracle, Jim.
It would take quite the miracle. Fangraphs has the Pirates right now at a 1% playoff odds, which like, to just kind of show you how important each of these games are. Like, they just won 2 games, but losing today puts them at their lowest playoff chance of the season. This is the new low. Even though they won the series, this is the new low right now.
This sucks. Like, we were talking about 50% chances not long ago.
Not long ago at all. I mean, a month ago, July 26th, that's 1 month ago, 48%.
Yeah.
In 1 month, it went from 50-50 to not happening.
Sucks. It
sucks.
It just sucks. It's, I don't know, just not good enough. It's just not good enough.
It's not. Yeah, anything else to add?
No, I'm kind of just disgusted. They take 2 or 3, and I'm still disgusted.
It wasn't enough. They had to sweep this series. They had to sweep this series, and especially after getting swept by the Dodgers, you had to sweep this series. Oh, and then also, we just found out Andy Rodriguez, labrum surgery. He's out for the year, and he's going to miss 7 to 9 months. So that'll be something we talk about tomorrow on NS9 Live. I'm sure we'll discuss that a little bit, but yeah, I don't have much else to add.
Sad day, bad day.
Bad day. Pirates travel to St. Louis. They are off tomorrow. So again, we'll have an episode of Offbeat for you tomorrow morning. And then we'll have NS9 Live for you tomorrow night. But yeah, appreciate everybody watching, listening. You guys rock. Like the video, subscribe to the page if you haven't. We're going to be here. We're going to be here every day. So hopefully you hang around with us the rest of this year.
Yep, you're stuck with us.
You are.
Love you guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's go, Bucks. Peace out.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus,
be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.